Hello anybody watching. I'm really excited about this project. I've been working on it all year. Last year I did an album rank on Twitter and I decided the tier list would be a little bit more professional. So I'm really excited about this one. I think I have like 84-ish albums that I listened to, and I started in January this time, which was really a great choice, so I didn't have to cram a bunch in December, which I still ended up doing. It's fine though. But I'm really excited because there's some really cool ones in 2020, so happy new year to everyone. Hope you're staying home like I am. Do you have a Truly? Please sponsor me. But yeah, staying home for New Year, so what better way to kick off 2021 by going over the best of music in 2020. So let's get started. So we start off with no skips. Self-explanatory. Sophie and Joe having a baby. I will say, if this wasn't a big moment of your life, then kind of jealous of you, but great moment that happened in 2020. So why not make it one of the top tiers? Chili's 3 for $10. Do I need to say more? And homemade banana bread. So this one is a little throwback to March. Good. Maybe not my favorite, but we'll eat it if someone else makes it for me. Don't remember, genuinely not saying this in a bad way, I literally just have no recollection of listening to this one. Didn't even know it happened. Maybe thought it had happened in a different year. Next one is probably not winning a Grammy, but still got some bops. Maybe not the best album, you can still bop to it. McDonald's taking away all day breakfast. Not a fan. We all hope it's gonna come back. It could next year. It will, right? Not the worst thing to happen this year. Not great though. And then $600 stimulus checks. First album we have is Meghan Trainor, Treat Myself. Okay, coming up is The Notes of a Conditional Form by the 1975. I love the 1975. I've seen them live twice. I'm a huge fan, but it's not my favorite album of theirs. But it's really hard to top my favorite album just because of the sheer nostalgia of it. So this one is gonna go in Sophie and Joe Having a Baby because it's really good. Not my exact favorite, but still almost top tier. Next one we have is Whole Lotta Red, Playboy Cardi. Putting it in McDonald's Taking Away All Day Breakfast. Maybe it should go in $600 stimulus checks. Maybe, but next one we have is I Disagree by Poppy. This one is really good and I'm a fan of Poppy. Not quite my usual taste. It's a little scary for what I normally listen to. I don't know. Super good though. I'm gonna put it in Chili's 3 for $10. One, just because I probably won't listen to it a whole lot. Just because it's not really my taste. But it's still really, really good and I really enjoyed it. The next one we've got is Okay, How I'm Feeling by Love. I'm gonna put that in Homemade Banana Bread. It's good. I'm not gonna listen to it every day, but it's good. Next we have my boy Louis Tomlinson. I love him. When I listened to this one, I actually listened to it this day because low-key didn't realize he came out with one this year. So sorry about that, Louis. I love him. He's a talented songwriter, did some of the best songs in One Direction. And it was just really nostalgic. Kind of reminded me of listening to One Direction. I'm gonna put him in Homemade Banana Bread. So the next one we have is The Chicks, Gaslighter. Super good. One of the 2 country albums I have. Normally don't listen to a lot of country, but very good. Jack Antonoff popped off with this one. I hope they continue to make music in the coming decade, year, whatever. Love to see it. Super proud of them. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Even if you're not a country fan, definitely check it out. Next one is Rare by Selena Gomez. And personally, I spent the majority of the first like 4 months of this year listening to this album. I really liked it. Like, she's not the best singer, not the best musician out there, but it's just genuinely really enjoyable and definitely have some bops. We're gonna put that in Homemade Banana Bread because I can't put it any higher. I just can't. Legally, I cannot. Next one, The New Abnormal by The Strokes. Don't remember her. I listened to it when it came out sometime March, April. I don't know. It was good. I remember liking it, but I just don't remember it. And I went back and listened to it and I'm like, it doesn't really feel familiar. Like, maybe it's me. Maybe it was just a weird time during quarantine while I listened to this. It was good. Just don't remember her. Another don't remember her is Kid Crow by Conan Gray. I don't know. Just don't remember. I like Conan Gray just fine. Next one is Soccer Mommy, Color Theory. Color Theory by Soccer Mommy. I really liked this one. I hadn't heard of her before and I really liked it. I'm gonna put it Chili's 3 for 10 because I feel like I'm gonna be a big fan. Oof. Okay. Next one is Mandy Moore's Silver Landings. This one was one of the first ones I listened to this year. And I loved Mandy Moore in Tangled. I loved her in Princess Diaries. But I didn't love this. We're gonna put it in $600 stimulus checks because... Okay, not gonna lie. I almost put this in Do Not Remember Her because I didn't remember this album much, but I re-listened to it and I was like, oh, this is really good. This is really good. So we're putting It Is What It Is, Thundercat in Sophie and Joe Having a Baby. It's really good. I liked it. We have our first No Skips and it is Sawayama by Rina Sawayama. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I think it's right, but I'm not for sure. But this is so good. I really liked it and turned me into a big fan. Definitely deserves the spot in No Skips because No Skips, so good. And next No Skips, one that I'm personally excited about is Petals for Armor by Hayley Williams. Love this album. So good. I'm gonna say it's underrated because I don't feel like I see a lot of people listening to it or talking about it, but this is so good. Next we have Changes by Justin Bieber. We all know gonna go in $600 stimulus checks. Could probably go in Don't Remember Her, but current Justin Bieber just kind of like gives me like chills, like in a bad way. Probably could have been really good. It just did not work with me. We need to re-listen to it, but I don't know about that one. Apparently I didn't rank this last one. Euros by Declan McKenna. Again, don't know if I'm saying that right. Hopefully I am. I'm gonna put it in Chili's 3 for 10. It was really good. Next we have Colores by J Balvin. I'm gonna put this in Homemade Banana Bread. Next we have Velvet by Lambert. I really enjoyed this one. I really liked listening to it and I saved a bunch of songs from it. Don't listen to them a whole lot after, which is why I put it here. And probably not winning a Grammy, but still bops. Maybe not like the best bops, but still bops. So for some reason I feel like I'm a really big fan of Hines, but I don't really listen to them that much, like don't know a lot about him, but I'm really rooting for them. And if you don't know them, they're a girl group from Spain and they're really cool, but don't really remember this album at all. Next one is 5 Seconds of Summer, Calm. We put this in Homemade Banana Bread. I love Teeth, but I don't remember a lot of other songs other than like the few like bigger ones. Next is Heartbreak Weather by Niall Horan, going in Homemade Banana Bread. It's really cute. I liked it. I just can't help. Harry set this standard really high, but I liked it, especially the song Nice to Meet You. Love it. Another Homemade Banana Bread. We have Hopeless Romantic by Tink. Chalombo, I hope I'm saying that right. Sophie and Joe Having a Baby. I really thought this came out in 2019 because I really feel like I listened to it and included it in my rank last year, but I guess it came out in 2020. So putting it in Sophie and Joe Having a Baby because it's really good. Okay, we're putting Party Mobile in Don't Remember Her because I remember hearing everyone talk about it, I believe, but I don't personally remember listening to it. And I look back at it and I listened to a few of them and it really didn't feel familiar. Like, I don't know. Sugar by Megan Thee Stallion. No skips. Not a skip on there. Super good. Captain Hook was one of my #1 songs of the year, and I think it will be probably next year as well. Industry Games by Chica. This is another artist that I feel very excited for, and I posted an Instagram story of one of the songs from this album, and she actually reposted it, and I feel so awesome. And I kind of feel like this is a Lizzo situation, because I saw Lizzo when she opened for Haim, and then she blew up, and I hope this happens for Chica too. I feel like if you like Lizzo, you'll probably like Chica, but I put this in probably not winning a Grammy, but still bops. I feel like she can only get better from here. Charlie XCX. We're gonna put in Don't Remember Her. I remember listening to the album, but I don't, like, when I was finalizing the list, like, I forgot that she'd even come out with an album this year, which is really weird. And I know, like, some of my friends, like, top artist, top album, top songs of the year, but for some reason I just genuinely forgot it even came out this year. So we're putting in Don't Remember Her, because genuinely don't remember her. Noah Cyrus, you are going in no skips, because I was so impressed. Like, genuinely enjoyed every second of it. It was so emotional, like, so well. You could really tell, like, she put all of her heart and soul into this album, and I really feel like I felt that in when I was listening to it, and I was so impressed and so excited and so happy to be listening to it. It was just really interesting to see her perspective of her life so far, and she just had a story to tell, and she told it so well. No intention to rhyme, but like, I loved it. It's so good. I was blown away. Blown away. Dark Lane Demo Tapes by Drake. We're gonna put in $600 stimulus checks, because this is not helping me. Okay, Ellie Goulding, love her. Didn't even know she was gonna come out with an album this year. So I was really excited that she did. And I'm putting it in Homemade Banana Bread. I wonder if there's a way I could put it like in between Chili's 3 for $10. The Aces album. I loved listening to it. Again, this was one of those artists I feel like it's just gonna keep getting better from here. So I put this because of their potential. City Girls, City on Lock. I love City Girls. I was really excited when this album came out. Unfortunately, it did come out in 2020 when we can't hear it at the club. But once we're able to do that safely, I feel like it's gonna be everywhere, hopefully. So we're gonna put this in Chili's 3 for $10. Another Chili's 3 for $10 is Nightmare Vacation by Rico Nasty. 3 for $10, of course. Okay, I'm not gonna try to pronounce this album because it's in French, and I wanted to include a French album because I did one last year, but it was super good. And I didn't understand a single word of this album, but I do love French music. I'm putting it in Homemade Banana Bread. The next one we have is The Ascension by Sufjan Stevens. Sufjan Stevens carried Call Me By Your Name, like, side note. Anyways, we're putting this Chili's 3 for $10. Legends Never Die, Juice WRLD. People will probably hate me, but we are putting it in Don't Remember Her, because don't remember listening to it. Literally didn't know where else to put it. Ooh. Katy Perry, Smile. Maybe this should go under $600 stimulus check, but I kind of just feel bad, so we're putting it in McDonald's Taking Away All Day Breakfast. Okay, so I had to include this because Kylie Minogue shares my birthday. So we are putting it in Homemade Banana Bread. Folklore by Taylor Swift. No skips. I did take a quick pee break for this one, but this one really carried us through November, and it was there for us when no one else was. Thank you. Thank you for this album. Thank you so much. Lainey, Mama's Boy. And I'm gonna put this in Homemade Banana Bread because I like it. It was very enjoyable. Like a homemade banana bread. Okay, Blackpink, the album, love it. I'm gonna put it Chili's 3 for $10 because it was really good, and how you like that blew up. Ava Max, Heaven and Hell. Let me just say, like, we have to give it to her. Kings and Queen, Sweet But Psycho, like, they did so well. Like, I think both of those songs got over 1 billion streams, but it felt a little dated to me. I think that if this album would have come out like 2014 kind of era, I think it would have done so well. And even 2016, This and Closer would have gone crazy. Chip Chrome and the Monotones, I believe, by The Neighborhood we are putting it in Chili's 3 for 10. Solid album. Detroit 2 by Big Sean. Yes, this is Chili's 3 for 10 as well. I've never listened to a Big Sean album before, but I didn't know what to expect from it, and I think it was perfect for this year, and I feel like I learned from it about kind of the Detroit experience, which I feel like is kind of the whole point of the album. It was just really cool. The features were really good. 12 o'clock by Luna. Okay, originally I was gonna put it in Chili's 3 for 10. We're putting in Sophie and Joe having a baby because I liked it a lot. I feel like it just brings you so much joy, and that's exactly what we needed. Another Chili's 3 for 10 by BTS. I'm still like learning about K-pop, and I liked it. Okay, Wonder by Shawn Mendes. I feel a little embarrassed because I did have a Camila Cabello and a Shawn Mendes face, and I feel like since they've been dating, it's really been hard for me to like not associate them together, and the fact that like a lot of these songs are about Camila Cabello is like, ooh, makes me feel weird. So we're putting it in McDonald's getting rid of all day breakfast. It wasn't horrible, and Shawn Mendes is talented. That's all I can do. Positions by Ariana Grande. Obviously a really big fan, very proud of her. I'm almost overwhelmed when I think about everything she's had to overcome in the past few years. It's even amazing to me that she's still working and making music and going on tour and doing all this stuff. Like, she really didn't have to do anything. She could have went out of the limelight entirely, and I would have been happy. Her last 2 albums were so good. Kind of hard to compare, and at first I didn't really like this album that much. I was like, I gave it more time, and then like I've been listening to it so much. Good News, Megan Thee Stallion. I am also gonna put it Sophie and Joe. Really good. In song after song went viral, and she deserves it. Ungodly Hour by Chloe and Halle. No skips. Not one single skip. Immaculate. Raise It Flowers by B.D. I think we're putting it in Chili's 3 for 10. Actually, I don't know, maybe it should be Sophie and Joe having a baby. We're putting in Sophie and Joe having a baby. We're putting Alicia by Alicia Keys in Chili's 3 for 10. RTJ for Sophie and Joe having a baby. I saw them live when they opened for Lorde. They only put out good albums. Good commentary of what is going on right now. Born Here, Live Here, Die Here by Luke Bryan. I included this album because I knew I needed a little bit more diversity because I only had one country album, which was The Chicks, but I can't put him in the lowest rank. I just can't. This is like the exact country music that people say they don't like for a reason, and I know that, and listening to it I was like, oh, this has potential, and then I was like, oh, I feel like I should put it in $600 stimulus tax, but I can't. So we're putting it in McDonald's taking away all day breakfast because I have some weird soft spot for Luke Bryan. Okay, Dreamland by Glass Animals. I do like Glass Animals. I started listening to them in high school, but I didn't like this album quite their older ones. It just doesn't seem as memorable as some of their other music. So we're putting it in Don't Remember Her. Punisher by Phoebe Bridgers. I personally have not listened to Phoebe in the past. So good. No skips. Not one skip. Okay, this is one that I had a hard time placing, with good reason. Chromatica by Lady Gaga. I was a little disappointed when she postponed her album a little bit, which like I understand. I was like, okay, come on Lady Gaga, we need this, we need it. And then I listened to it. There's a lot of songs that I really did like, but I don't feel like it is necessarily her best. It's a cool era for her. I love some of the songs, like I love her feature with Blackpink and her feature with Ariana Grande. It is just not my personal favorite of her. And so we're putting it in Chili's 3 for 10. I thought about putting it higher, but consciously I just couldn't do it. Blame It On Baby by DaBaby. I listened to his album last year, I believe. I thought this album came out in 2019. But then I saw the cover with the mask, and then I was like, oh, like it was definitely 2020. I don't really know why, but we're putting it in Don't Remember Her. Okay, I don't even know how to abbreviate this album. Bad Bunny, y'all. This album, I wish it would have come out in 2019 because then it would have at least had the chance for like the clubs and the bars and the parties and everything. Can't wait for it to be just blasted everywhere. His music videos are so good. You're the only English speaker, you only speak English, and you don't really listen to a lot of music outside of English, this is definitely a good one to listen to, even though you might not understand what's going on. I think he's a really good artist for reggaeton right now. He's bringing awareness to a lot of issues that aren't really spoken a lot in the Latino community. He's released like 4 albums this year, which is insane. Okay, next, Evermore by Taylor Swift. So, I did not expect to get a second album. Not a lot of artists can do that. I feel like Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, and Beyonce, like, they can do it and they can be successful and it can be a really good power move for them, which it was. That being said, did not like it as much as Folklore. Hopefully 2021 will bring us a third, so we'll just see how it goes. I'm really expecting it, but really good features. Just, she's such an excellent songwriter. Based on Folklore and Evermore, it's gonna be good if it does. Manic by Halsey. Another one I thought came out in 2019. I don't know why. We're putting it in Remember Her. I don't remember her. High Road by Kesha. Love Kesha. And I am so happy for her to be making music that she wants to make and telling her own story in her own way. It's really awesome, and I really wish the best for her. Again, one of those artists that's overcome so much in her music career, but I wish I could place it higher. I just wasn't a huge fan. It's gotta go and probably not winning a Grammy. So bops. Plastic Hearts by Miley Cyrus. I'm putting it in no skips. There's not one skip in this album. And I think this is just really awesome. This is a really good era for her. Her voice was made for rock. She's so good. She's so talented. Really just a great artist in general. And she just nailed it. Dusk by MX Moon. I don't know how to say her name. And I should have looked it up. But here we are. We're putting it in Chili's. It was really good. And I don't know a lot about her. Okay, back when I was going to do an album rank numerically, Fiona Apple's Vegetable Cutters quite possibly would have made the #1 or #2 spot. Not super familiar with Fiona Apple, but this was so good. No skips. Virgo Tendencies by Keke Palmer. Love Keke Palmer. I'm really happy that she's still out here making music, and I feel like not a lot of people really paid attention to it when it came out, but I really liked it. I'm putting in Chili Super 10 because I think we're sleeping on Keke Palmer. Speaking of sleeping on, JoJo is another one of those artists that we definitely slept on, and I'm really glad is still making music right now. We are putting her in Homemade Banana Bread. This is quite possibly my most controversial opinion, and it is After Hours by The Weeknd, and I'm putting it in Don't Remember Her because that's all I can really do, and it just wasn't super memorable for me. Maybe like Blinding Lights was played so much that I kind of got tired of it and was like, okay, I'm over it. So maybe it was just the hype of that song that kind of like overshadowed the rest of the album for me. I don't know. Don't Remember Her. Slow Rush, Tame Impala. Love Tame Impala. Excited for this one. It definitely was a little different than Currents was, which Currents was different from some of their other albums, which is fine. I like that they don't have one like exact sound every album. I will say I do prefer Currents. So we're putting it in Sophie and Joe Having a Baby. Maybe I just need to forget about Currents and not compare everything to it because I feel like it's perfect. We're gonna do Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. I loved it. I loved it. I liked the kind of disco sort of era that she's kind of in, and love her music videos. Not a skip for me. Not one skip. Confetti by Little Mix. I didn't know what to expect from it. I'm gonna put it in probably not winning a Grammy. I haven't really listened to much Machine Gun Kelly before, but I really liked listening to this one. It reminded me of like Blink 182, and I think if we released that in like 2005, it would have been super popular, but I think it still is, and I think it works for right now. It's nostalgic sounding, but it's also pretty modern and like today. To Feel Alive by Kelly Lucas. No skips. Definitely. How Wise You Here by Flo Milli. We're putting that in Sophie and Joe Having a Baby. Enough said. El Último Tour del Mundo by Bad Bunny. I really hope this is not his last album, like that he's not going into retirement. I've heard both. It isn't, it isn't. But we're putting it actually 3 for 10. Cannot top first one. For one, no skip. The X tapes by Fletcher. I haven't really listened to Fletcher much before, but this was so good. Like, I was so impressed when I listened to it. I really liked it immediately, and I saved almost all the songs. Just thought it was so good. High Off Life by Future. Probably not gonna win a Grammy, but still bops. Eyes Wide Open, Twice. Sophie and Joe, Having a Baby. Cape God by Ali X. I like Ali X. I wish I had more to say about it. 84 albums. Quien Contra Mi Dos by Yandel. And Homemade Banana Bread. Pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. But it's hard to top Bad Bunny this year, and this year is Bad Bunny's year. It's not Yandel's fault. Okay, down to our last two. We have Jaguar by Victoria Monet. You know, I heard of her from Ariana Grande, and I love their song together, and I'm really excited that she's also having a baby this year, and like no one knew, at least I didn't know. That was really cool. So like maybe she was pregnant doing this album, probably. Go her, good for her. Could not be me. Chili's 3 for 10. And last but not least, Women in Music Part 3 by Haim. So good. I love these ladies, and I was really excited for this album and was not disappointed. And Sophie and Joe having a baby. Thanks for listening, watching, and supporting. Appreciate it.